All right, cool. Okay, first off, yeah, I like this. This is really working really good. Like, thank you. Uh, thank you for showing like making a really rough silhouette. This is cool. Like, this is if you guys are struggling with trying to figure out what pose you want to do, like before you get invested in going in like this, feel free to do something like that. I do have one revision that I'd like you to make, and that's the hair, the helmet. Um, so like the reason why I say that is because if you look at your silhouette here, it creates like this little pocket, you know, and right away, for me personally, it kind of it gets my attention. Just that space that's sitting there. It also kind of messes with your silhouette. It makes like this weird blobby kind of thing. So I would say if you just do this one thing, it will totally enhance your silhouette. It's going to add to the cool factor that you got going on here. The strong pose is already so awesome, but just make this one change and you're gold. But other than that, I approve this. You're ready to go forward and cleaning this up. It looks like you got it all sorted out. I can see that you're already thinking about colors. You guys don't need to do that, but it's nice that you're already thinking about that. It's making it kind of seem like the character's foot is inflated. It's like it's not that far away from her other foot. So I thought that was kind of like, whoa, that's a little extreme. How can we make this better? So I went back into it, and just trying to create more stability for your character. So this leg right over here is pretty much going to be her main support. If you decide to go with this pose, that is. I think it's a cool pose. It's got a lot of action. And it's got a lot of flow, which is really nice. But I'd say if you're going to go with this, since the character is kind of like lifting up their other leg, this one over here, I would say it needs to have that kind of support. So instead of having it bent, I made it a little more sturdier, straight, and coming down. The other thing is that I noticed is that like since your character is like doing this like reach around their back, if you try to do this pose, you're gonna find that it's almost like you're gonna dislocate your shoulder. So I'd say like this kind of pose, it's like you want it to be like out and strong. It's kind of like when you if you've ever done a punch, you are extending it out and you're flexing your fist. So in a way, this character is kind of doing that. Like if they whipped it around, then their arm is extending. So if you see my arm, it's extending and coming around. So like, that's kind of like why I was like, okay, this character needs to have like this strong arm that's come down really nice and quick. And it's solidifying that this character is doing this kind of motion. They're very confident about using this weapon. So fix that arm, fix the hand. The hand looks like it's the other hand, like it's her right hand that's all of a sudden on her left hand. So I'd say try to fix that. In my sketch, you'll see that the character has their arm straight and the palm is facing downward, okay? And her fingers are making a fist, This character can't do this pose and have this kind of item going around the leg And yeah, it's a lot going on, so we need to simplify it. So that's why this character's weapon is just going to focus in the front. You know, it looks like she might do a kick, and she's kind of getting ready for it. But yeah, so I'd say use this as a guide. It just needs to read clearer, and to create less complexity in your drawing. Great job. Like, it's really cool that you already displayed like your 5 references. So awesome. These are really good references. So good on you for that. I also really appreciate that you have 3 different ideas. Oops, I'll put 1, 2, 3. The fact that you have 3 different ideas is really cool. To me, it shows that you are trying. What I'm trying to say is you're challenging yourself. You know, like this character is completely different from this one, and this one is also very different. Like a dancer kind of pose thing. It's very different from something like this harsh, robotic arms. So yeah, very cool. I really appreciate you trying something different. So let's go into them one by one. So right off the bat, this is hilarious. The fact that this book is going to be upside down and the character is just kind of like reading it in this funny kind of way. I think that's really cool. I will say, if you are going to go with this, maybe try making like something like a really cool like book cover, and that way, like going forward, like eventually you would probably have to do a call out for this book, what it would look like straight on,
Yeah, like asset designing, right? Like what different
yeah,
props you have.
yeah, yeah. So like yeah, and same with like stuff like this. Like you could totally do like another call out to say like this is what it looks like on its own. You don't have to, but like yeah, those kind of things are really handy and really cool to see. I would say if you are going to go with this pose, when you do get to the call out phase, being able to draw this character straight, like on a front view, is going to be, I think, important. So eventually, if you do happen to go this route, I would say, start to think about what this character would look like in other poses, because this could be a little difficult, I would say, especially if like at the moment, I would say these 2 arms, like one is definitely longer than the other. If that is the case, like then I would definitely communicate that, which it's totally fine. Like I think that's cool if that's what you want to do. But yeah, just be prepared to explain these kind of things with your design. The one thing I will say, if you go with this one, is I think just this foot. I know that this is kind of like this is basically like a quarter view kind of thing, but I think this foot right over here needs to be lowered a bit, just to create more stability, kind of like what we were talking about with the first assignment. It's like, you want them to feel like they are standing, on the same ground plane. If you take the heel, like let's say right here, the end of the heel, and match it up with the front of the other foot, so this one over here, and make like a diagonal line. Do the same thing to the other foot. So right over here, you'll make another line from the end of the heel to the front of the foot. And right there, you get a little X, okay? Take that point and draw a straight line up. And you'll see that's kind of like the center gravity of your character. If it's off from where their torso is, it's going to come off. You'll know right away that it's looking unbalanced. That's a way to measure it. So like, if we go back to like the original drawing you had over here, so let's go over here, like that's way off from like the torso. You know, we kind of want to get it right over here. You know, so yeah, I would say if you fix that leg, that foot, this is good to go. It's a good pose, but I'd say you will want to center it. So like, let's do this really quick. So I'd say just straightening it out will make a world of a difference. You know, like I hope that really makes you see what's going on with this thing, where it's like just as a character design, it's a little more handy to have it a little more again with more balance. I know like it's pretty much based on the pose that you have over here. So I'd say just like centering your character for this pose will really help it a lot. It will make it feel a little more balanced and strong. So again, you know, putting a shadow definitely will help, I think, just to show like some context between your character and the space that they're in. Because if you just leave it like this, it makes it kind of look like the character is jumping, or you know, they're floating, unless that's what you want to do. You know,
I mean, the floating idea kind of sounds cool. I just like,
yeah, exactly.
I'll just put a space between. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Like a space between your character's foot and the ground. Already that makes it seem like they're so far from the ground. I would say, yeah, just keeping like a little bit of distance makes it kind of seem like a little hop, which is very elegant, very nice. You know, the one thing, there's a couple of things that I would also do. I would watch out for this right here. You know, this
it's a tangent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely would change that. Especially this right here. Like you got like this weird little pocket that's kind of happening. In fact, what might be even cooler is if, you know, this came in front of the character. You know, it's like it's whipping around to the front, kind of like crossing over. And then you can have like your design here, whether it's like a grappling hook or yeah, actually, is that a grappling hook?
I based it out of the jewelry over here, but I was having an idea for the Scorpion's sphere from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay, okay, cool. Yeah. But yeah, it might be, I would say it'd be much cooler if it like wraps around and like comes to the front. Like one, you're going to be creating more visual depth, you know, that breaks up the tangent that's going on here. Yeah. Yeah, the other thing is I'd say watch out for here as well. You know, you got like this nice start to the leg, but then all of a sudden it gets really thin,
right,
and then extends. Like, so like I would say watch out for that. Like maybe just create like I would say continue this line over to here, you know, and like then the knee will come to about here, and then you can drop it down, and then that way you have a little bit of space of that piece of armor that comes out. So it's going to change like, yeah, okay, you already did it there. So like but yeah, just like adding a little more meat is gonna, because like when you bend your knee, you know, all those muscles, they compress together, right? They're not going to create that kind of like pocket.